Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing great. So if this is your first time on my channel, you are welcome. My name is Chika, and today is a special edition because I am honored to be speaking to the people in Amiva Institute today. So due to my work schedule, I won't be able to do this live like with them. This video would be played for the students during the time I'm supposed to be live. So yeah, so thank you so much for this opportunity, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. So if you're from Amiva Institute, let me know in the comment section of this video. I'd love to meet you. I'd love to know you. And if you have any questions regarding the topic or any question at all, please drop them in the comment section and I'll be doing my best to answer them. Or you could also give them to the coordinator and then she'll be sending them to me, and I could also do another video with regards that. So if you have a question and you feel like you don't want to write it in the comment section, you can give that to the coordinators of the institute and then they'll get back to me. All right, guys. So first thing first, I'm going to say that please ignore any music you're hearing from the background. I was supposed to be doing this video in my living room, but there's a construction going on opposite my house and the workers there are just playing music non-stop. And I know it's going to be coming into the video. In case there's any music in the background, please kindly ignore. I had to go up to my loft to be able to do this video for you today. All right, guys, so let's jump right into today's video. I'm going to be looking at my little book here where I jot down some points. I've been asked to talk about how I've been able to manage the responsibilities that come with life as a married couple, meeting expectation, overcoming exhaustion, and staying happy. Okay, guys, so this topic, it's a series on its own, guys. Okay, this is a lot in one. So yeah, I'm going to be focusing on meeting expectation, overcoming exhaustion, that's managing stress, that's overcoming stress, and staying happy. So these are the topics that we will be talking about today, but we'll be focusing on two because I have already done a lot on staying happy and I have sent those videos across, and I'm sure you'll be watching that before this or after this video with regards staying happy. So I've done a couple of videos on that, and I recently did a live on how to stay happy and enjoy the phase that you're in. So I'm sure that video is also going to be played after this one. And if you haven't seen that video, I'm also going to leave that in the description of this video for you to go check it out. So yes, when it comes to managing your stress and also meeting expectations, I would say this is a series in itself. Okay, these topics are a lot in its own self, but we're going to see how we're going to be able to break it down today into some few points in order for this video not to be lengthy. So I'm going to start with overcoming stress. Okay, how do you overcome when you're exhausted? Like, how do you overcome stress so you don't get exhausted? Now, the truth is that when it comes to life generally, especially when you become an adult, life is in phases, and in each of those different phases, it comes with its own stress. Okay, it's just the funny truth about life. As beautiful as life is, it can be overwhelming. Okay, so how do you manage this in order for you not to be exhausted, in order for you not to be overly stressed? That is what we're going to be talking about today. Now, the first thing I'm going to say, for me, one of the ways I have been able to manage stress, one of the ways I've been able to overcome stress is, one, understanding myself. Okay, understanding yourself is very important. And I also want you to understand that we evolve. So yes, you need to still sit down and understand yourself at every phase. Okay, we are all growing, we're all evolving. So you need to be able to sit down and understand yourself. Like, do you know yourself? Do you know your triggers? Do you know what are the things, what are the factors that can make you stressed? When you're stressed, how do you react? So these are things that you need to know about yourself in order for you to be able to manage it. Because when you don't know these factors, then you can be stressed without knowing it. For example, when you're stressed, there's the possibility that you become cranky. There's a possibility that you start shouting, or you become quiet, or you exhibit the three of them at the same time, okay? Some people become overly quiet when they are stressed. So for some people, they become very cranky. So sometimes you exhibit the three of them, depends on the level of stress. So now knowing these and understanding these factors will also help you. Now also understanding your body. Now we are all different individuals, and this simply means that the way we are going to manage stress is going to be different. The way I'll manage stress is going to be different from the way someone else is going to manage stress. The way I'll manage my motherhood is different from the way someone else is going to manage it when they become a mom. So you cannot compare yourself with someone else, even if it's your sister, even if it's your family, even if it's blood. You can't say, oh, because this person is doing it so well, then I can be able to. No, you need to understand yourself. You're different, you're unique. How do you react to these certain things? Okay, some people just don't like stress. Someone like me, I love planning ahead. Okay, I love planning things in order to be able to reduce that stress. For some people, they prefer working as in deadline. When it's deadline, that's when they do their own thing. Sharp, 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 sharp. Okay, now we are all different individuals, and whatever works for you. So understanding yourself, and then you know how best you can manage stress. Understanding yourself will also enable you to know when to slow down, when it's time to cook Indomie for everybody. Okay. You also need to know when to lie down in bed. Like, when you understand yourself, you'll be able to know these factors. You'll also be able to understand the fact that you cannot juggle it all at once. Yes, it's true that there are so many goals you set for yourself to achieve, but can you do all of them at the same time? Now I'm going to give you an example. I recently relocated to the UK, going to 2 years this month in September. And during the course of the first year, I was going to school 4 days in a week. I was working part-time, 20 hours the other 2 days, and I had just 1 day that was just for me. And that 1 day, now you have to bear in mind, I have 3 kids. Okay, I have to do my whole mommy duties. Now I'm a wife, I'm a sister. There's so many other things. Then I'm still a human being. I need to also still take care of myself. So at that point in time, I had to understand that there are some things I could not juggle at the same time. For example, when I moved into the country, my YouTube video picked up very well. Like, I was so close to getting monetized. Like, I was getting so close to it, but I needed to push in more videos, like to be more consistent. But guys, at that point in time, I could not. It was just a lot. There were so many things. There were so many things happening at the same time that I could not. I was still doing videos. Like, if you go down, you still see some videos, but I was not consistent. I was not able to push out the videos, edit it at the same time. And it was okay. You need to know, like, you cannot carry everything at the same time in order for you to be able to reduce the stress. At that point, it was fine. And to God be the glory, I was able to achieve that, do my school, come out with a distinction. And today, I'm also now still hitting the goal on my YouTube. So in life, you need to know that it is not a race. You're not trying to keep up with the Joneses, okay? It doesn't matter what is going on around you. Like, this is your life. You need to take charge of it, okay? So don't try to compare. Don't try to compete. You need to understand, what season are you in? What season are you in? In that season, make the best of it that you can. It's one way you can reduce your stress. Understanding the season that you're in your life. You tell yourself, this season, this is what it looks like. And then how best can you achieve that? So yes, after understanding yourself, you also need to be able to understand your partner. You need to be able to understand your spouse. You need to be able to understand how they also manage stress and see how best you can work as a team. Because marriage is all about complementing each other. Okay, so you're trying to complement each other and work as a team. Like I always say, the person you get married to is one of the, in fact, that's the most important decision in your life. Like, after giving your life to Christ, like deciding and choosing who you're going to get married to, like choosing your life partner, is one of the most important decisions that anyone can ever make, because it's going to like make or mar you. That's just the truth. It's going to affect you a lot if you don't make the right decision. So yes, so understanding that and then going ahead to complement your partner, to complement your spouse is very key. Now, let me give you an example. Back in Nigeria, when I had my first baby, when I was like first time mom and all of that, now, there were days when my hubby would call me from work and say, baby, don't make anything tonight though, I'm cooking. I'm taking care of the dinner tonight. And he will come back. He'll just say, okay, maybe bring out chicken from the fridge. I'm making dinner. Don't do nothing. And that was a very big relief for me at that point in time because I needed that. There were days when he would say, okay, what do you want for dinner? I'm buying dinners. I'm coming back. And those little things went a long way to relieve my stress. As a married couple, how can you help your partner? How can you relieve their stress? Those are things you need to be looking out for. Another example I can also give, there were days when he would come back from work and he would take our son and they'll go for a walk. He will wear him in all these, what they call it again? These baby carriers. He'll wear him and then they'll take a stroll out once he comes back from work and then just give me some few minutes of quietness. Like sometimes they take a walk for like 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, and they just, I don't even know where they used to go to because I didn't even think I asked them because I just needed that peace and quiet, okay? He'll come back, he'll take our son and they'll go for a walk and he just gives me that little me time, you know, to just breathe, so those are the little ways you can help. Now, in the UK now, for example, there are days when I also will take the boys. We will just take a walk to the park or maybe we go to the library just to give him a little time to breathe. Now, you need to understand these factors. You need to know yourself. You need to know that, okay, at this point, this person is stressed. How can I help out? What are the ways I can help out? That is working as a team. Now, another thing I'm going to say is to be able to ask for help and accept help. Very important. It's very important for you to be able to ask for help. If I know that you need help, ask for help and then accept the help. Okay, it's very, very, very key because if you don't know you need help, then that's a problem. You're going to be stressed. So you need to get to a point in your life when you tell yourself the truth. You say, I need help. And then you ask for help. So now when you ask for help, you need to be able to be vulnerable. You need to ask for help. Now it could be from your spouse. It could also be from people around you, depending on the season that you are in life. Learn to ask for help. Okay, if you don't ask, you will not receive. One important part of the Bible that I always read and I say to my kids is ask and you shall receive. Like, why should that part be in the Bible? When our Heavenly Father knows what we need. So if our Heavenly Father knows what we need and he still say ask and you shall receive, you have to ask, my people. So if you don't ask, you will not receive. So ask for help. Nobody can do it all. You can't. There's no Superman. No. Forget it. This one is not a superhuman thing. There's no award for stress. There is no award for the most stressed person in life. Come and take your award. So you need to learn to ask for help. You need to learn to accept the help. And when you get help, do you accept the help? That's another thing. Because the help might not come in the same format and shape or in the same pattern that you're used to. So the help you're looking for might not come in the exact shape, format, design that you're looking for. For example, maybe you're staying with family and they say, can you bring the kids over? Yeah, it might not be something you're used to, but you need rest. So you need to prioritize that. Do it. Take your kids over for a night if you have that community around you and get that rest that you need. It could also be your spouse, your hubby, or your wife. It could also be your spouse saying that they want to cook for you. And then when you eat the food, you might be like, oh, this one is not, the salt is not enter very well, the Maggi is not entering. Excuse me, that is a help. It's a meal that you can eat. It might not be the exact way you would have made it, but it can serve at that point in time. Now, the way you accept help will determine if you're going to get that help again in future. For some of us, we've blocked it because of the way we accept help. We have closed that door. Because, for example, if your spouse cooks a meal for you, for someone that cannot cook, and maybe he tries, watch the YouTube video and try to make something for you, and then you eat that food and then you're making face, you're not happy, you're not satisfied, you have bad comments. Next time, the person is not going to try. The person will be like, no point, okay? Because the other one, you were not grateful, you didn't accept it, you didn't like it. If you take it in and then you're like, oh, thanks for the help, at least today I don't have to cook, and then you're able to eat it, as long as it's palatable enough for you to eat, there's no food poisoning in it, you ate the food, you're okay. It might not be the exact way you like making your egg. Maybe you like to fry your egg with tomatoes, like 5 pepper on something. Then the person used only half pepper. Eat it and be grateful. Okay? So yeah. So just, and then later on, you can now say, baby, when you're making this, so can you do it like this? Can you do it like that? After you've accepted that help, a few hours later or the next day, then you can now give your own suggestion, and then the person would accept that and they'll be willing to help you again. Another way to not get exhausted, another way to be able to manage your stress is to find your community. People. You need people. You need people. Yeah, no one is an island. You need people. So yeah, you need to be able to find your community. Pray for your community. You need it. You need them. At every point in my life, in every season, God has blessed me with community. It might not be in the form and the shape you want it, but you need to be able to know your community. Now, I'm going to give you another example. When I was a student at University of Lincoln, oh God, I had amazing classmates. There were times, at that particular time in my life, my last son was not entitled to full school hours, if you know how it works in the UK and all of that. So he could only go to school for 15 hours or 30 hours. I can't remember now anymore, but one of the two. So he wasn't allowed to go to school every day like he normally would in Nigeria. And that was a big issue for us because where is he going to stay? Okay, so if you're working and you're going to school, but now when you have your community, it reduces your stress. For example, then I had friends that would help me with him. There were times when I had to ask for help from my classmates and they will stay with my son when I'm having lectures and all of that. Knowing your community will help. It could be from church. Church members too were amazing. So it could be from church, it could be from school, it could be from your neighbors, it could also be from work. Like I've been blessed with amazing colleagues every single place I have worked. I'm not even playing. Like every day I'm grateful to God for them. Because when you have amazing colleagues, it reduces your stress because they would help you in one way or the other. And you can always ask for help if you need to ask for help. Ask for help. So finding your community is key. And when you find that community, don't take them for granted. So another thing I'm going to say is learning to plan your time. Like you need to plan your time in order to be able to reduce stress. You can't say you're stressed and then the time you need to use and sleep, you're scrolling through social media. You can't be doing that. So there needs to be time when you switch off your phone, switch off the social media. Like I said, you're not trying to keep up with the Joneses. So yeah, there needs to be time when you tell yourself that this is rest time. Put the phone down. Prioritize your family time. Prioritize your rest time. It's very important. Also, plan yourself. Like you need to plan. One of the ways I've been able to manage stress here is to plan myself. Like there are days when I bulk cook. There are days, days you go for shopping. Just plan your life. You can't be busy every time. And then sometimes you can't do everything at the same time. Sometimes leave everything and rest. If your body needs that rest, leave everything. As long as everybody's alive, your kids are fine. Prioritize rest. It must not be speak and span. Everywhere must not be shining. Prioritize your rest. Prioritize your health. It's very, very important to check your health. Then finally, I'm going to say, ask God for strength. Ask God for strength, okay? The race is not for the swift. The battle is not for the strong. So ask God for strength. This life is not easy, but we can make it with God. Every day, ask for a renewed strength. Every day, ask God for a renewed strength because you need it. You need it, okay? You need that strength from God because, trust me, it's not easy. Life in itself is not easy. As beautiful as it is, as much as I love life so much, it is filled with its own challenges, and those challenges can make you exhausted. But understanding that you have God, understanding that it can get better, understanding that there's light at the end of the tunnel will take you there, will keep you pushing. And I hope that you find that strength inside of yourself and with God to be able to move forward. All right, guys. So yes, so that would be the end of me talking about how to overcome stress for now, and I'm going to be talking about meeting expectations. So yeah, so this is the part 2 now. Is a whole series in itself because which expectation are you managing? Okay. Is it your financial expectation? Is it your physical expectation? Is it your academic expectation? Your spiritual, your sexual expectation? Which expectation are we talking about? So I'm going to be talking about these generally. Okay. What expectation are you trying to meet? That's the first question. So this is just going to be some key questions to ask when it comes to managing expectation. Number one, what expectation are you trying to meet? A financial expectation? Is it physical? Is it your academic? Is it sexual? What expectation are you trying to meet? So understanding that and answering that question, which only you can at different points in your life, will make you know how best you can manage that expectation. The second question you need to ask yourself is, who set the expectation for you? Who set this goal? Are you the one that sets the expectation for yourself? Your parents, did they set this expectation for you? Is it is it your family? Is it the society? Is it social media? Who set the expectation for you? This expectation that you want to meet, are you the one in charge of it? Are you the one setting this expectation for yourself? When I was schooling here, I set a goal for myself. I had an expectation. I wanted to get a distinction. I was working towards a distinction. There were days when the stress gets too much. You ask yourself, who sent you? Who sent you this message? Do you understand? So you need to know who sets the expectation for you. Very important. Now, because I did that for myself, I wanted to get that. Okay. I could easily have said, I was already fine where I was. I know I'm not feeling and I'm going to come out well. There were days when I was exhausted. I was tired. I wanted to give up. But because I set that goal for myself and I wanted the distinction, I kept moving ahead. I knew that I was not failing. Okay, I'm seeing my result every day in Blackboard, okay? I knew I was good where I was. Like, even if I wasn't stressing much, I was going to come out well. But because I'd already set an expectation for myself, that was what was waking me up at night. That was what was making me to keep on putting that extra mile because I wanted to get something. So now another thing I'm going to say is, when you set your goal for yourself, when you have an expectation for yourself, do you know that you can raise it higher and you know you can reduce it? It's up to you. You can. Like I always tell my boys, aim for the highest. So even if you fall, you're not on the floor. Okay, so if you say now, for example, I want to get a pass, any small mistake, you're failed though. But if you aim for the top and then you don't get that, you're still okay. In regards to meeting expectations, like I said, it depends on the expectation that you're trying to meet. Okay, like I said earlier, is it financial? Is it social? What kind of expectation? So now you need to be able to set goals towards those expectations. And at the same time, you need to be able to know when to raise it higher and when to reduce it. Yes, based on your current reality, you can reduce your expectation. It's very, like I said, it got to a point in my life, I just knew that I could not chase that monetization that year. Like, it was not going to happen. One thing would have to give. Okay. So there are times in your life when you need to drop the bar low. Like I said, you're not keeping up with the Joneses. Okay. This is your life. You have to take charge of it. So at some point, you cannot put your health in danger because you're trying to meet up with an expectation. So if there's a situation where based on your current reality, you need to reduce your expectation, please do. Please do. Because, okay, when there's life, there's hope. So if you need to reduce your expectation based on your current reality, I don't know what's going on in your life, but if you feel that you're in a place where you need to like maybe reduce your hours, you need to do some certain things, please go ahead and do it. Life first. When there's life, there's hope. So you need to understand that these expectations, it could be financial expectation. Maybe you've told yourself before the end of this year, you want to have how many millions or how many £1,000,000 or £1,000, and then you're overworking yourself. Life first though. You have to have life to enjoy that money. Okay, so you need to be able to sometimes reduce it, lower your expectation, okay, to be able to live, to enjoy the expectations. Okay, so you need to lower it to be able to live long, to be able to enjoy those different phases. So finally, with regards to expectations, I'm going to say, what are you trying to do to meet those expectations? Like I said, depending on the area in your life that you're at currently, if you're in school, what are you doing towards it? Okay, what are the plans? What are the plans? Write the vision and make it plain so you can run with it. What are your plans? What are you doing currently? You want to make how many pounds in the end of the year? Naira, in how many billion naira you want to make? What are you doing towards that? Can you start with 10 hours a day job and then move to 15 hours, 20 hours? What are you doing towards that goal? I want to become an online, you want to make money. Can you start with a YouTube channel? Can you start small from where you are and grow from there? So finally, I'm going to say set goals. When you want to manage your expectations, you need to set goals. And these goals can be long-term, short-term goals. I'm not going to go so much into goals today because I have a dedicated videos on setting goals. And I'm also going to leave that in the description box of this video. If that's something you would like to go watch, then please go watch it. Now, so what I'm going to say is setting goals will help you to manage your expectation. So as a couple, you need to set your goals financially. Where do you see yourself in the future? Okay, so you need to set goals for your family spiritually. You need to set goals. They are very, very important. It pushes you and you need to go back to your goals. Check it. You need to go back to those goals and review them. Because like I say, we always evolve. We are constantly evolving as individuals. Even as a family, my family size 10 years ago is not the same now. So you're constantly evolving. So you need to be able to, your goals also need to evolve with you, if you understand what I'm trying to say. So you need to set your goals and ensure that you're working towards them in the best way that you can, in your own capacity. What are you doing to manage your expectation? So like I said, this is a very broad topic and I would not be able to go into every part, like managing your financial expectation, managing your spiritual expectations. These are different topics that need to be dealt with. It's like a series in itself. But I hope I've been able to give you some few points on how you can manage your expectation. First of all, which expectation are you trying to manage? All right, guys, so we've come to the end of this video today. I hope you got value from it. I hope you learned something from it. If you have any question, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comment section. Or like I said earlier on, if you're from the institute, then please give them to the management and they'll reach out to me. So yeah, thank you so much for watching today's video and I'll see you again in another one. If you have watched up to this point, please give this video a thumbs up. It goes a long way to help my channel. And thank you so much for watching today's video. I'll see you again in my next one. Until then, stay fabulous and stay blessed. Love you and God bless you. Bye.